Hi, folks. Hi, how are you doing? Just Dr. Drone here playing with his drones once again. And I'm so glad that you came to join us. Yes, I did. I wish that you were me. I wish that you were able to fly some drones too, but you can. All you have to do is take a look and make sure that you spend some time learning about drone technology. That's right. And Dr. Drone will teach you how. Today's show is underwritten in part by Windy City Yachts. And we're so glad that we have you with us. Now, this is a live call-in interactive show. So I want to make sure that you're doing just the right thing and take this telephone number. It's right at the bottom of the screen. Get off of your couch. And if you just want to take a look and don't participate, this is the wrong channel for you. Save yourself. If you don't want any information, turn the channel now. Get out of here. We want to make sure that we're giving you something that you can use, okay? So, basically, I want you to know that there's a lot of people that write me. They give me all types of, I don't know, maybe there are gutless people who don't call in like you can. You can call in and give us a question or comment right now. But these gutless people, they like to write me, so I want to honor them. And I want to honor them by answering one of their questions. I have a little black box that I'm looking for somewhere here that I gave my producer. I think I need to punch him in the jaw because he doesn't have it. But I'm going to show you today something about how to use these right here. These right here. These are goggles, and this allows me to see what the drone sees. From quite a distance away, it's just like sitting in the cockpit of an airplane. And one of you wrote me an email and want to know, how do you take your drone? How are you going to take your drone and make it into a remote control, or what we call FPV, which stands for first person view. And this drone here is operated by a remote control. Now this remote control that we have here, of course, we've seen this before. We talked about this remote control, and that holds either your cell phone or a tablet. And this remote control has something very special about it. It has a portion underneath it that has connectors. And these connectors, that's what I wanted to show you in that box, but here's what I did. This is the type of controller that you get. The manufacturer doesn't matter. You know, I mean, most of the companies that make these make them the same way, and they only come with a USB connection and a power connection. However, what I did was I got a module, and you can get this for any type of remote controller. And these modules allow you to use the FPV goggles, you see? These goggles even have a special set of lenses in them. You can get them made by many different companies. These lenses are my prescription lenses, so don't worry about it. If you wear glasses, you can use those. But you don't even have to, if you're scared to go into these controllers and messing around with little microscopic screws and screwdrivers and stuff, don't worry about it at all. There are many other controllers on the market today, and they all look like this. This type of controller is automatically set to patch into your goggles set. So no matter what brand goggles and no matter what brand controller that you're using, these are set, and there's a little switch on the side here that allows me to either look at what the camera's looking at through my iPad or my tablet or my cell phone, or I can hit the switch and look straight through my goggles. So that answers your question. You can do that, absolutely, you can do that, and make sure that you're able to see these views from the sky with the goggles. And we have a problem with this though, because we want to fly off off into the sunset. We want to fly further than what the eye can see, and so we call that first-person view limitations. And our guest today is going to help us to understand some of the laws that are involved. I'm going to act as a lobbyist today because one of the problems that we have as professional pilots and as hobbyists is that we have to follow the law. You cannot fly these drones any further than what we call the line of beyond the line of sight. You have to be able to see this with your eye or with glasses, but not with binoculars. You cannot fly it any further with that. But the problem is the technology has gone so far ahead that we can fly these things miles away. Don't worry about it. We'll get into it in just a second. But I want you to grab a pen right now because some of you need to know how to reach Dr. Drone, and here's how you do it. You make sure that you reach Dr. Drone by sending a question or a comment directly to askdrdrone@gmail.com. That's askdrdrone@gmail.com. Now, I don't want to waste any more time with our special guests today. We have Congressman Danny Davis. Welcome to the show.
Well, let me thank you. I am so excited until I don't know what to do, and I'm just waiting to see how all of this works, and I hope that people out there in viewerland are having as much fun and have as much anticipation as I do.
You know, Congressman, you were just talking on your show that preceded this one. You were just talking about how people need to get more into technology and be open-minded. We're going to be swallowed up by it, don't you think? If we don't get with it.
Let me tell you, we are talking seriously about driverless cars.
What?
Driverless trucks. As a matter of fact, the trucking industry, a bunch of truckers were in to see me, and they have some concerns, though, in terms of what it's going to do for their ability to earn a livelihood. I mean, technology, I think, is great, but we got to keep up with it because it will go off and leave you if you're not there.
That's right. It will go off and leave you. Now, Congressman, I have to change hats and act as a lobbyist for the drone technology industry. And they tell me that I need to talk with my congressman about this. And so as I've been doing research on this, I found a short audio clip that I'd like to share with you. And this audio clip is self-explanatory. This is by John Travolta, who is one of the leaders in our industry who just got the FAA, won a court case 6 days ago, just got them to release the responsibility of us having to register these drones. Excuse me, if you pass me that drone, you will see that
I've actually touched a drone.
You're going to fly one of these. I bet you. I'm going to show you. You know, we work together every week,
Yes.
and I'm going to promise you, if the weather is better than today, I'm going to promise you that when you leave out of this studio, we're going to have one set up for you outside.
All right.
We're going to show you how to fly because anyone can fly it. But do you know that the fact is that they make us register the drones up until 6 days ago. That's what my number is for this drone. In case I fly into a building or hurt someone, that they will know who this drone belongs to. But 6 days ago, the rules changed because of a court case, and John Travolta, that is, came up with a rule that we could not fly, that they couldn't change the rules, that is, for hobbyists. They couldn't require new rules to fly drones for hobbyists. So the FAA had to backpedal on this. But meanwhile, 750,000 people have registered their drones. I want you to listen to this and let's get your opinion.
Sure. Well, that's the big unknown, and a lot of people are legitimately concerned, very concerned, that this is going to spur Congress to take action in the reauthorization. That's a very legitimate concern. The timing of this was very unfortunate. I mean, my hope has been all along is that a ruling would come down at a time when there's a lull in the paranoia and a lull in congressional activity, and it just kind of, people would move on. But with the timing of the Reauthorization Act, who knows what they're going to do. But this is certainly a time for people to get active and contact their congressman, and that really does make a difference, and let them know how they feel. And some of the talking points, I think the most of the talking point is the stellar safety record.
So the stellar safety record. Do you know there hasn't been a reported accident for drones as of yet, but we're afraid that people are flying around airports, amateurs flying around. That was the concern, but in the last 4 years there has been no reports of anyone being injured by drones.
Oh, that's one heck of a safety record, and it is an indication that with enough regulatory, and I don't think anything ought to be over-regulated, but I do think that safety is very important, and to make sure that mechanisms are built into the operation so that that record of safety can continue.
Well, one of the beautiful things about these drones today is they have like little eyes on the front. And we call this system avoidance. This prevents it from crashing into a person or a wall. It stops within 6 feet if it looks like it's going into a wall, whether it's going forward, back, sideways.
Oh, okay.
So it's able to determine everything around it so that it won't run into buildings, it won't run into people.
I see them on the side as well as on the front.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Even on the bottom, there are sonar, on the bottom, folks, there are sonar system. There's a sonar system to emit so that as it's landing, it's going to make sure that it knows what's underneath it.
All
We
right.
have a caller with a question, and we'd like to take a call for you. Caller, welcome to today's show.
Yes, hello?
Yes, caller, go ahead. You have a question for Congressman Danny Davis? While I straighten out my tie?
Well, I just want to say I just bought a drone, and I ran into a tree. I just want to know where I can get it repaired.
You need a better drone, don't you? You need one like we were just showing with the system avoidance technology, so that you won't run into a tree, and you won't run into a building, or more important, you won't run into other people. That's a fact.
Okay.
But Congressman, I know you don't know about where to.
No, I do not know where he could get one repaired.
You have to go to Google, sir, and you have to find out who's here in Chicago that does it.
Okay, then.
Absolutely. Thank you, though. Thank you for your call. Congressman, what's the real benefit of drone technology that you see in your congressional district, the 7th congressional district?
Well, I think that the drone technology is similar to other kinds of technologies that enables people to do things that they would not have been able. For example, it's my understanding that some packages, some companies that deliver packages to people are using drone technology to do that. Now, I do have a concern, though, and my concern is that if we continue to develop technology, the only need for individuals to work is going to be to handle, manipulate, and operate the technology. And whether or not this puts some other people out of work, out of employment opportunities, I don't know yet
I see. Because,
what impact that's going to have. And that does concern me.
do you think that there are other offshoot technical jobs that can happen other than driving the drones?
I do, but you know, when I can go to the observation deck a room in a hospital and look at a robot performing an operation or working on a sick person. Now, I love it. As a matter of fact, we put a team in the robotics competition that takes place each year at the University of Illinois,
Yes, sir.
where all kinds of technology operations are taking place. And it just happens that there's a person on my staff who's into this, and he puts together a team of young people every year, and we participate. And so I'm not adverse to it, but I just want to know and hope. I mean, for example, airplanes use certain kinds of technology to be able to safely land and
Yes.
to maneuver. And I've seen in other countries, not just in the United States,
That's the point.
but I've been to other countries and saw robots doing, for example, I was in Germany and I went into a jewelry making operation, and very expensive jewelry was being made
By robots.
by robots.
Well, do you know that deliveries are already being made in other countries? Even taxi cabs in Dubai are unmanned. You can catch a cab and fly to your location. But we have so
Now,
many.
I was in Dubai. I've been to Dubai. I went to the Arab Emirates
Did you?
one year. I took a trade delegation, and we did all four of the countries. And of course, these are the wealthiest people in the world because they sit on beds of oil
Yes.
and natural gas, and so they're trying to figure out how to make the greatest use of it.
Well, they don't have the regulations that we have here, though.
Oh, I wouldn't think that they would, but all that I'm really saying is that young people today, especially, technology is moving so rapidly until make sure, that you get into this and that you learn this. You learn the foundations of it. You learn how to do it because, like I say, if you're old as I am, you may not have to use it as much.
Well, do you know of any federal funding that's available for training people in drone technology? And have you heard of any other congressman hosting drone technology summits? And would you do something like that in your district?
It is something that I would do, and of course we would have to do a certain amount of research. But as I indicated, I do have this one person on my staff, and I think I got more than one. I think I probably got two or three who are pretty heavily into the technology world. And we're getting there. We've had town halls at Google and Microsoft, and we've got a technology advisory committee.
Very good. I think that Dr. Drone needs to be involved with that committee, and I think that you might want to appoint an ad hoc committee for drone technology to do the research to find out the viability of doing a summit in your congressional district.
The person on my staff, her name is Tiama Romero. She staffs our technology advisory group, and we've got other people who staff other things, like somebody else staffs health.
I see.
Somebody else.
Well, we'll make sure we get in touch with her.
Yes,
we'll
indeed.
make sure that we do that. Let me ask you, we have another caller on, and I want to give the caller a chance to ask you a question first. Welcome to today's show, Ask Dr. Drone. Go ahead.
Well, hello, Dr. Drone and Congressman Davis. Drone technology is just so exciting. Is there any possibility that there's going to be maybe a district-wide drone training program so that young people can get into these drone careers, and maybe something on the west and south side of Chicago to offer, youngsters within the city that don't seem to have a good direction in terms of where they want to go. Is there a possibility that maybe drone technology would be the answer to that question? And are there any plans on the drawing board right now to start any kind of drone training programs in your district or in the city of Chicago?
Thank you for your question. We have a few minutes left.
And I
Go
think
ahead, Congress.
it comes out of this discussion, quite frankly. I had not given much thought to starting a program, although I'm very much research orientated. I think I provide or I support research probably more than any other member of Congress in the state of Illinois.
He's going to fly the drone next week. That's about the first bit of
Yep.
research you want to do.
But I guarantee you that we will look into the issue and we will set up some opportunities to have individuals come and share with each other, and we'll have the experts there so that they can impart the information. So it's something that we will do, and it really comes out of this opportunity that started right here today. When we get it done,
Thank you, Congressman.
I'll
Well,
say we did it as a result.
let's put a pin in it. I want to ask you another question before we get to our last caller, so please just be patient. That if I can show you that the line of sight, if I can show you that it's safe to fly a drone beyond the line of sight, and I can show you the research, would you help us to get rid of this line of sight rule that prohibits us from doing deliveries, from being able to send medicine to people? I can send an AED to help somebody that's having a heart attack, and thousands of other things. If I can show you this, will you help us to have them turn around this line of sight rule?
I will commit right here on this television show this day.
You're recorded now.
That we will do that, and that we will be engaged and involved, and we will help advance drone technology and understanding of it so that people will recognize its value and its use.
Very
because
good.
you can't stop technology. It's here to stay. It's on the move. People are coming up with new
Yes, sir.
things every day. So we'll be a part of it with you.
With the few seconds we have left, we want to take your call. Ask your question quick. Go ahead.
Hello, Congressman.
Good.
Hey, Congressman and Mark, this is Steve. Hey, how you doing?
Very good. Get to your question
I heard
quickly.
You say something real quick, Mark. You said in Dubai that the cab will pull up without no driver in it. I'm not ready to get in those kind of cars. Technology, I'm not up with it neither. It changes every 2 or 3 months. It's going to be different. No, you can have that new technology, man. It's going to be something behold in another 10 years if I'm still here. So again, I'm not with that technology.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Well,
Mark, I'll see you one day here.
thank you.
All right.
Congressman, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to join us for today's show. I appreciate you very much for taking your valuable time to see Dr. Drone.
Thank you very much. And hey, I don't think you can stop it. You got to get with it.
That's right. Now, when you arrive next week, Congressman, remember, we're going to have a drone set up for you outside the studio. I'm sure God is going to give us some great weather. We're going to make sure that the congressman not only knows how to touch a drone, but how to fly a drone. Thank you so much,
All
Congressman
right.
Danny Davis. This is Mark Stevenson, a.k.a. Dr. Drone. Mama, Get the coffee ready. The kid's on his way.
All right.